My behavior indicates that I'm afraid, yet the actual perception of fear is elusive. How do I reach and deal with this deep-rooted but unconscious emotion? My behavior indicates that I'm afraid, yet the actual perception of fear is elusive. How do I reach and deal with this deep-seated but unconscious emotion? Do you want to go into this now? I was going to deal with it on Saturday. It doesn't matter, we'll deal both days. If one has observed this problem of fear has existed from time immemorial, right? It has existed with man. And man has lived both consciously or hidden deep down. Its roots very, very deep. And either we have escaped from it through logic, through analysis, through any form of entertainment that helps us to avoid coming directly into contact with it and holding it. Or we have suppressed it. Right? We have this. Or we neglect it. Say what? We have lived in fear for a million years, so what does it matter now? And one knows the consequences of fear. Physical shrinkage, a tendency to be a hypocritical resistance, an avoidance of the fact that one is really afraid. So if one really profoundly wants to be freed from that reaction or fear, one has to go to the very root of it. There is biological proof. Body, the organism, which must protect itself, and the fear of disease, old age, death, and the fears of past memories. So fear is again a common ground upon which all human beings stand. So There are various forms of fear. The fear of the dark, the fear of light. Do we deal with the outward forms of fear? That is, I'm afraid of my God, or I'm afraid of a bully. Bully all the time, to lie, and do all kinds of things. And there is a fear of that constant pressure, an aggressive, slightly demented person. So, do we want to deal with fear superficially, which is intellectual, verbal, or what we really, please, this is a serious question which you must answer for yourself. If you want to deal with it superficially, that's the end. It's like a tree. The moment you cut down one branch, twig of it, there's another branch. It's perpetual flowering of fear. Or you're going to observe which way nature is structured, how it comes into being. When we want to deal with it deeply, go to the very root of it. What is the root of fear? Please, I'm not telling you. The speaker is not pointing out. We have together investigate into a tremendous, complicated problem which has crippled humanity. And out of fear of all kinds of things, invented all the gods of all. In fact, there is absolutely no psychological fear nor beyond all gods. So what is basically the root of fear? Is it time and form? Please, you are investigating, not telling and question. Is it time, the future, or the past? And is it also thought, thinking about the future, thinking about the past, thinking what might happen, or what has happened? The future is time. The past is time. The past, modifying itself in the present, moves towards tomorrow, the future. The remembrance of an incident which the future of that incident awakened the new fear. You follow those? Am I talking to myself or we are meeting each other? So there is horizontal fear and vertical fear. Right? So we're asking, is it time? The past, the present, and the future. I'm afraid one is afraid of the present. It must be the threat of war. Beyond that, some country, another great tribal country might create on this. So one is afraid of the past, the present, and the future. This movement is not something that is static, it's a movement. And so a movement means time. From here to the village, that was time to travel to the village. From one point to another point to means time. So we're asking if time is one of the factors of fear. Logically, it seems rational, safe, and is thought also the root of fear. I think tomorrow I will be unemployed. I'll be unemployed tomorrow. We're thinking about why I am employed. Thinking about it tomorrow is also the beginning of it. Right, your friend? Thinking about the past, the incidents, the psychological accidents which have brought about certain forms of fear. Thinking about the past, thinking about the future, thinking about the actual moment of life in which there is such tremendous uncertainty. Thought brings fear, right? Thought, so time and thought, are they the major factors of fear? And in reality, what listen you probably meeting I will explain this that time and thought is the root, the one to explain, not engraved have captured the meaning of what you are saying. Now, then you ask me, is it an idea that you have accepted? The words that you have said, or listen to what you have said to me. From that listening, I have made an abstraction into an idea. And I'm struggling with the idea. Then I ask, how am I to put that idea into action? You see the difference? So the conflict, you understand what I'm saying? Is this clear? become ideas, concepts, conclusions, all those. And then I ask myself, how am I to carry out these ideas, this concept, that time and thought are the root of it. You understand? I have made an abstraction of what you have told me. Time and thought are the root of fear. And I'm pursuing the idea, how am I to carry out in life? The speaker says, please don't do that. Don't make an abstraction of what you have heard. That time and thought are the root of fear. Don't translate it to an idea, but find out the truth of it. The actuality. That is, I see that I really am afraid of the past. It is so. Also, I'm afraid the present, because the things are so incredibly distracted on me. And also, I'm afraid of tomorrow, future. That born, the mugging, the mad terrorists, and the politicians with their game. As the present, so also the future. So, I see the fact, not the idea, that time and thought are the root of fear. Next Saturday I'm going to much more in a different way, but this is the root of fear. Now what shall I do? I realize I see the fact. I see the truth of what you have told me. Not romantic idealistic, all that. It's no meaning. I see the truth, the actual truth of what you have told me. Then the difficulty arises, if you have gone that far. The observer who actually sees the fact. You understand all this? Or is the student? Who is the observer who says, yes, I see the truth? Is the observer different from what he sees? When I say this, I see the truth of what you have told me. I have already played a trick, which is I see the truth of it. That means I am different from the truth. You follow? Right? Is this clear? Really, let me be much more simple. When I'm angry, is that anger different? Or at the moment of anger, there's no difference. There is this tremendous reaction. A few seconds later, I say, I have been angry. Therefore, I have divided myself as me who is being angry. Right? You see? So, when you have told me the truth, the fact, that time and thought are the factors of fear, I listen to it very carefully. And I say, yes, I see the truth of it. And watching. I found it. Or there is no observer but only actor. You understand the difference? Are we meeting someone? I observed that tree. In that observation, words do not as no tree. And that the very name of that tree prevents me from actually looking at it. You understand? If I go to a museum and see a picture, a painting by the old masters, I don't like modern paintings, so do I. And I go there and look. When I compare one master and another master, I'm not looking at the actual painting of a particular master. I'm comparing, judging, and then observing very closely without any sense of other painters looking. So, when I observe, when I see the truth of what you're doing, there is no division between the observer and the observed. There is only the truth of it, not I see. And that perception, which is holistic, frees the mind from it completely. Don't you be so puzzled? Look, son. It's very important to understand this. I am afraid. Suppose I'm afraid, psychologically. I then try to control it. I try to rationalize it. I try to escape from it and go to somebody to help me to resolve it. So I'm always acting about out. Right? That's what we are all doing. Acting upon it either to discipline or to control it, or to run away from it, or to suppress it. This is what we do. Acting like that. So there is always this conflict. The struggle, activation, which is a conflict. Now, can that conflict end? Which I'm putting the question differently. Can that conflict between me and the fear, me controlling the fear, suppressing and so on, and thereby this division which inevitably brings conflict, can that conflict end? You get it? That's my question. I say, how can that conflict end? Why does this division between me, the I, who's trying to suppress, control, dominate, fear, why is there this division? Is this division expression. So, it is important to resolve this conflict. But we live in duality. I am this, I should be that, I should be that. So there is always this duality which brings about conflict. Right? Now, I want to find out, can this conflict